Thanks for joining us on this special edition of ABC24 News. I'm Kevin McNamara. Residents in South Memphis are calling on the community and leaders to show some love to T.O. Fuller A. State Park. The park, located near Graceland, is one of the first state parks east of the Mississippi River that allowed African Americans inside. Today, those in the community are fighting to bring the park back to its heyday. ABC24's Jay Shakur has the story.
If you're looking for a place to shoot some hoops or get some exercise in by walking on a trail with some beautiful scenery, T.O. Fuller Park might be the place for you. This park is a hidden gem, a Mid-South marvel that's nearly 1,200 acres of green space. But community members in the area are fighting for the park's future. The park just south of McKellar Lake has a baseball diamond, basketball court, meeting space, and multiple picnic areas. But with all of these amenities, residents say it is not a lot of foot traffic, and they're working to change that. Friends of Fuller Park is working with park rangers and the state to ensure the park is not only revitalized and upgraded, but done so with a purpose, giving the youth in the community something positive to do.
I'm a lot older now, but 5 and 6 years old. I do recall we used to have dances down here, Cyclops. We had ample space to play baseball.
I think that the crime, it would help with the crime as well, because that is something to do, and we need to engage our young people.
Now, I'll have more on T.O. Fuller Park and what Friends of Fuller Park are doing to increase activity here later tonight on ABC24 News at 10 p.m. In South Memphis, I'm Jay Shakur.
Thanks, Jay. Also, Memphis and the Whitehaven community hosted a festival this evening to spread awareness about overlooked and unkempt spaces in the area. This initiative works to revitalize and address issues within public and private spaces across the city. Today's fest allowed residents to be a part of the changes coming to Whitehaven neighborhoods. There was live music, street art, and much more. And the attorneys representing the family of Tyree Nichols released a statement in response to the limited stay on the civil proceedings in the trial of 5 former Memphis police officers who pled not guilty to federal civil rights charges. The statement says, in part, we are satisfied with Thursday's ruling to issue a limited stay on our civil proceedings. This ruling will enable the Nichols family to seek justice and accountability, which has been the goal ever since our nation watched the atrocities in Memphis unfold. It continues to say, we want to set the record straight that the 5 indicted officers absolutely will still face accountability in civil court, just not until sometime after the criminal proceedings are complete. We remain fully and fiercely committed to justice for Tyree. Those 5 former officers, Justin Smith, Emmett Martin, Desmond Mills, Demetrius Haley, and Tadarius Bean, are set to be back in court May 6th. Well, today marks 2 years since a tragic day in Collierville when a gunman walked into the Kroger on New Byhalia Road and began shooting. The gunman killing 1 person and injuring 13 others. Olivia King was the woman who died. She was a mother, wife, and sister. The town of Collierville is still healing, and that Kroger was remodeled and reopened last year. A relief fund was created to support the survivors of this grave tragedy. And Memphis police currently investigating an afternoon shooting that left 1 man seriously hurt. MPD says around 1:27 p.m. they were called to a shooting in the 3100 block of Douglas Avenue where they found a man shot. He was taken to Regional 1 Hospital, and MPD does say they arrested a woman who may have been involved in the shooting. This is still an ongoing investigation. And right now, another man is in the hospital following a shooting in Westwood. Around 10 this morning, Memphis police responded to the 800 block of West Rains Road, where they found a man who had been shot. He was also rushed to Regional 1 Hospital, and MPD says this is still an ongoing investigation. Also, a man now critically injured after an early morning shooting in Parkway Village. At 1:45 a.m., Memphis police responded to the 4400 block of Woodale Avenue, where they found a man shot. He was taken to Regional 1 and is still there as of this evening. Anyone with information on any of these shootings is asked to call Crime Stoppers at number 901-528-CASH. Clear skies right now, and it is the first day of fall, so you may see some trees changing colors as you make your way around the city. But it's not really fall weather outside as we're seeing temperatures in the 80s, and we may get some rain. Meteorologist Hayden Nichols is here to give us a look at the forecast.
Well, it was the first day of fall. I've got my tie on, but it certainly didn't feel like it. Temperatures were really warm out there this afternoon, but not to worry. We've got dry area in place, so that's going to help us as we head into the evening hours. If you've got some plans, maybe heading to the fair, the Mid-South Fair, it is going to cool down, thankfully. We are going to see if you want to stand in line to get a funnel cake. Oh, it's always a good one. We're going to have temperatures eventually falling into the 70s with no rain chance in sight and a clear sky. So it is going to be a beautiful evening, if not the fair and doing anything else. Be good forecast for outdoors. Now, as we move into tomorrow, rain chances nil through much of the morning hours, but as we head into the afternoon, we are going to see some changes to our pattern that we haven't seen in several days here. Rain chances creeping back in. Not all that high, but there is a possibility of seeing some rainfall coming back to the area, but it's going to be heavily dependent on how this system that we're expecting to see populate well to our west generates and maintains itself. We'll have to see if it can hold it together long enough and get close enough that when we see it collapsing in Arkansas, that we'll see some showers moving into the Memphis area. If not showers, we'll definitely get some cloud cover. So that's why rain chances are on the lower side. Once that thunderstorm structure collapses, it's actually going to leave a boundary in place. Where that boundary sets up exactly will have a significant role in how Monday's rain chances play out. For now, once again, keeping it on the low side because confidence is not all that high that we're going to see it far northward that will have decent rainfall potential with it, but even then, it's close enough that it warrants keeping that in play. Beyond Monday, we go back to dry conditions, but we are seeing a ridge building back in that is going to keep our temperatures above normal for even beyond the 7-day forecast. We're talking October 1st through the 7th with forecast highs in the mid to upper 80s and lows in the mid to upper 60s, which is not where we should be for this time of the year. Speaking of tonight, we are going to be looking at temperatures falling into the 60s, which will be near normal. Tomorrow's forecast, we're thankfully going to have that cloud cover helping keep some of those temperatures a little more tempered out there in the mid 80s. Monday, lower 80s, but we go back into the mid and upper 80s Tuesday through Saturday. As you can see our average high in the top right hand corner of your screen there. We should be around 84. We'll be well above that, at least for now.
All right, thanks, Hayden. The nationwide auto worker strike, which has impacted 38 locations in 20 states, has officially made its way to Memphis. Auto workers taking to the streets this weekend to protest, fighting for higher wages and better benefits. I had the chance to visit the picket line firsthand and speak to workers about their demands. Dozens of striking auto workers have staked out in front of the AC Delco processing plant beginning Friday. They say they're prepared to be there 24/7, with some even sleeping outside the GM facility.
Auto workers have been left behind while the billionaire class are prospering. Their raises are going up and ours are staying steady.
I think the strike is absolutely justified, and I hope the union gets every penny they deserve. They're underpaid, they lost their pension. You know, these guys have a justified reason to be here striking against the Big Three.
The union is seeking pay raises of 36% over 4 years, an end to lower pay scales for new workers, and a 32-hour work week for 40 hours of pay.
Things that we lost back in the last contract, we're trying to regain, and sometimes you just have to stand in solidarity to push back and fight for justice and equality.
The car companies say they can't afford the union's demands despite huge profits because they need to invest in the transformation to electric vehicles.
We're trying to get everybody on an even playing field, and I think that's what America wants to see, is the working class get what they need just to make it in these trying times that we're in.
Negotiations with the big three automakers remain at a standstill. Although there has been some progress, Ford was spared additional strikes because the company has met some of the union's demands during negotiations over the past week. The impact of these strikes not yet being felt on car lots around the country. Analysts think it will probably take a few more weeks before the strike causes a significant shortage of new vehicles. Well, that's all we have. Thank you for joining us on this special edition of ABC24 News. We'll see you back here at 10.